and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. Come on. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. Your team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us?
Okay, Coach, we are in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
We play to win. Let's go! Everybody crying, ain't it?
Now the first carry for an Ohio native. It's Ezekiel Elliott. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Let's get off the field.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Prescott from the gun on third. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Cleveland Farrell in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
He's checking.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. Space to maneuver at the 40. And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Grant with touchdown number 20 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
At the 17-yard line.
Here we go. Go ahead, watch the run. They're running it.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Out there now, the lefty Tavecchio for the Falcon field goal. Tavecchio puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 32 that time.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
They'll run on 1st down. Grant. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I got you, son. Hurry!
This is Grant.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
26-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Come get alert, 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 alert.
They will run with Grant, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Here we go, D. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Hey, high 7. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 3rd down, it's Grant. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
2nd and goal at the 9-yard line.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Here's Grant. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Let's think here. You're still just in the 2nd quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show them you have a little confidence in them, and let the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time. We'll go get 6 then, but for now, we'll take the 3.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
They don't want it.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. We're going to 53. Watch this.
Elliott. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
A first down carry by Elliott. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Mike. 59. There we go. 59 is Mike. 59 is Mike. Check. 59. I'm going to come back to you.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Point it right. No. Under takes 3. 218, chop it. Up.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 2nd down, it's Grant. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
It's a part of now. Hey, seam 6. 45. Check Mike 45. Let's go. 45's the mic. Watch the run. Pistol. 45's the mic. Hey, foxtrot. Got you, boy.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs them up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on third down.
Regular. Hurry.
Mike, 45. Run.
Hurry. Hey, orbit. Hurry.
Hey, check Mike, 45. Check Mike.
Alert.
45.
My God.
To throw, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And some room to maneuver. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon. 85 yards as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. On first down, Grant. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Grant, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Set. 180.
45.
Real.
Check 45 to Mike.
Hey, zoom.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Here we go.
Kings.
45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Smooth.
45 to Mike. Go left.
My God.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Let's go, baby.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hey, echo.
Now on 2nd and 13. Mayfield, he sets to fire deep. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Mayfield down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
And the Browns, first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go. Check, check, check.
Up, up.
Check, check, check.
Now Mayfield. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here we go, kill.
Switch. Rush in.
What do you think?
They start on the ground with Elliott. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Kill. 27.
They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
59 Mike, check, 59.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Open man there is Malone. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line.
And the Bengals first down.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 41. Now Joe Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up. Again,
it's Mixon, and he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter. Well, they gave the 60-yarder a try, didn't make it, and now they're in a tough position defensively. This offense has it at midfield. Mayfield now from the 50. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run on 1st down. It's Grant. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon. Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Get ready. Hey, alert 33. I got you.
Now a give, right side. Grant. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's 3rd and 11.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, Delta.
45's the mic. 45's the mic. It's just me.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 33. And Elliott puts this one through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They go to Elliott again. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Mixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 17. Prescott from the gun. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Averaging 50 yards of boot so far as this one's away. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 30, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Slam, slam, slam. King. Regular.
On first down, it's Grant, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
180. Check. Hey, alert.
On second down now, it's Grant. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll run on first down. Grant, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now a give right side. It's Grant, and this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Hurry! Alert, alert! Alert, alert! Hey, Charlie! Run, run, run. Hurry, hurry!
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Prescott. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down.
Third down and 7 yards to go.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce them, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Check 26, check 47.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
And it's 3rd down
he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
You gonna take anyway? We're going to 53.
Now Prescott on fourth down. Flush to his right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
20, 45. They're not ready for this, man.
On first down, Grant. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They go back to Grant. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
180.
On 3rd down, it's Grant, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 28-yard line.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Browns, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO, I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes.